All right, hello everyone. Welcome to FRL Season 6, Round 1 of the American Cup. You might have just joined us for the European Cup a few moments ago. Well, now it's time for the second of our four cups, American. So you can see here that there are some drivers going around the circuit as we're doing the practice right beforehand. Typically for like an hour before each race, there's going to be some practice happening. We actually have uh, uh, a small pre-race interview we're going to be doing before the race starts with regional Veloci. But before we get to that, I'd like to introduce the commentary. So there's me, Magnificent. I'm commentating. There's also Link,
Hello, everyone.
and we also have a technical commentary from Trey.
Hello.
And then, as I said earlier, we do have a small pre-race interview that we will be doing with Regional, the team owner for uh, Brianza Four Green Saigon Racing, Brianza team. But let's talk about the track a little bit first. So, uh, if we if we look at the track, we have 20 corners at this circuit. I think that's right, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
20
20.
corners at this circuit. And if we look at some of the hot spots, we can see turns 8 to 10 is our first hot spot. This is commonly referred to as the snail. It is a very difficult corner that is very easy to mess up, as we have seen in in just that past race, where the leader of the race actually made a mistake there and wound up, or one of the leaders made a mistake there and lost some time. They managed to make it back up, but it was pretty chaotic. Another very important corner is turns 14 and 15. Those corners are, again, extremely hard. Theoretically, they are flat, but you have to line it up very well, and as tires get worn, you're going to have to start lifting and even braking at with heavily worn tires. The last track hotspot is going to be turn 16 and 17. These are this is these are some very important corners, as your exit from turn 17 will determine your speed down the straight, and especially with how hard it is to get up to high speeds with these season's cars. Getting a perfect exit from turn 17 is vital, especially during qualifying if you want a good lap at all. If we look at the practice results, we can see that the leader who is going to be racing here, I believe Man 15 is racing. Does somebody else want to correct me there? I believe Man 15 is racing. But also we have Sussy Imposter, uh, uh, it's Code Bacon's, a number of people who are high up in here. Actually, let me check the server. Who is racing? So yeah, Sussy Imposter is racing, and it looks like they might be the top on the practice sheets. It's going to be racing in this race. If we look at the results from last season, you can see that we have a few drivers who are racing who are going to be important to keep an eye on. Notably, Milo and Among Us the Imposter will both be racing. They were on the podium D3 West uh, here. So we'll have to see if they can possibly equal those results or possibly do even better. When we're looking at the strategies around the track today, we're expecting either hard medium or medium hard. Um, Hard medium is likely to be the more optimal strategy. Do you want to talk about why, Trey?
Yeah, sure. So, one of the main things that this track brings to the table is its gigantic pit delta. It's something like 24 seconds of lost time from, like, if you're right next to someone and you take a pit stop and they don't. So, it really limits the amount of strategy difference between the different drivers. For 16 laps on hards, though, is really hard on the tires. Like, for that 9 laps on the mediums, that is incredibly tough on them. It's something like 40% wear after those 9 laps on the mediums. So if someone is really struggling on those medium tires, they might take an early pit stop. In the EU race, just not that long ago, we saw a lot of people taking the undercut and pitting in lap like 13 and 14 instead of lap 16. So it would not surprise me if we see a bunch of undercutters.
Yes, there's a lot of different. There's still some variance in strategy. You know, even with the high pit delta, there's still a lot to think about as to when it comes to how you pit. Now then, let's go ahead and talk to our guest that we have for our interview, Regional Veloci. And I think I spelled that wrong. Regional. All right, I think I said that wrong.
Yeah,
anyways, anyways, welcome.
I think.
So, yeah, we just had a few questions for you. First, of course, is what are you hoping for when it comes to results for your team today?
Well, as you Enzo did a really very good race in Europe Cup earlier today, so I think he can do pretty good. Maybe going into the top 5, he can challenge them. Of course, not like Mark. I think Mark is gonna dominate this race, but maybe he can be there with likes of Yoto, or I would say also Patrick and Milo Milo. So it's gonna be interesting to follow him. And unfortunately, Yave couldn't race today, so we got Ben reserving as Mia Inton as his Robo student's name, and he's a rookie. It's gonna be his first race in FRL, but I think he can do really well, bringing us points today, hopefully.
All right. Do you think that there's anything like super like are there any teams you think we should look out for when it comes to results today?
Certainly, I would say that uh, maybe Envision has a really good lineup with Mark and Superfast GT. I think they are probably the best ones right now, but also quite a lot of interesting teams like Mean Grand Prix with I think Aquas, I think, and Patrick. So also them are pretty good. Also Young and Machu in United Empire are pretty interesting. So I think this is gonna be a tight battle. So we see.
All right. Who do you think is going to win the race?
I think it's gonna be Mark, of course. He has a lot of pace. He showed us in the pre-quali. So unless something happens to him, I think he's gonna bring this one home for Envision.
All right. Well, thank you for your insights. I wish your team the best.
Thank you.
Now then, we have 10 minutes until the race begins. So let's just talk about some of the different drivers we have out here today. So there are a number of names that we have here. For example, Milo, who is reversing down the pit lane currently, was our Division 3 West champion last season. Oh yeah, that's one thing I forgot to bring up. Um, this season, the way that we are doing the divisions is different than we have in previous seasons. In previous seasons, there have been Division 1, Division 2, and Division 3. But this season, um, we have foregone that. Instead of having 3 divisions, there's simply 2, regional and rookie. So the rookie championship is meant to be for drivers who are maybe new or need more time developing and figuring out their skills. That will be tomorrow. And then there are 3 regional championships, those being European, American, and Asia Pacific. We had the European earlier today. Right now, the American is about to begin, and tomorrow, early tomorrow, the Asia Pacific one will happen. So with the European race was very exciting. So we'll have to see if the American Cup can live up to that one. Some other people that we might want to look out. I mentioned earlier, Sussy Imposter was on the podium in D3 West last season at this track, and he's looking to go fairly fast so far. Of course, most eyes are on Mark Anthony. He is a very fast driver who most people expect is going to dominate this race. He has been he's put in good times and is generally considered to be one of the faster drivers at this track and in the league overall. Other people you might want to look out for. Mannington is a new driver, a rookie. We'll see how they do. They haven't really had a chance to prove themselves so far, but who really knows how they could do because they seem to be decently fast in practice. Uh, Anybody else have anything to add?
I mean, I think it'd be really interesting to see how Min GP does. You know, Wheels was always really fast last year, and Max GP, who Wheels was a part of last year, almost had a 1-2 going at Nagoya. So I think Wheels has a really good chance of scoring some good points. Yeah.
Yes. So we will see how it goes.
Yep. So in not too long, we will be restarting the server to make sure that everyone who needs to be in here is in. And after that happens, quali will be underway, and we should have a fairly good race going.
Yes. Yes, we should. So yeah, you can see a number of drivers who are getting ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back to the thumbnail while we go ahead and wait for the race to begin. This shouldn't take too long. All right, hello everyone. While we wait for the game, there we are. Okay, software's working now. Hello everyone. Welcome to FRL Season 6, Round 1 of the American Cup. Qualifying is about to begin. So any moment now, the drivers will be rolling out onto the track. Man, I for one can't wait. So here we are. We see all the drivers now exiting the pit lane, heading out and onto the track to begin their first laps.
Yeah, this first lap, it's not normally too important. You got 10 whole minutes to set a good lap, but you want to make sure that this first lap at least gives you an idea of where you could end up.
Yes, yes. It's not vital, but it is still an important lap to keep an eye on. And it
Yeah,
looks like Mark Anthony is the first person out on track. Mark Anthony is the favored to win this race. But there are still plenty of other drivers who could possibly pose a challenge.
yeah. I know I asked you this in the EU stream, but who would you call the underdog that could possibly win this? Because I know you said that Andy was the underdog when he qualified 12th and then he won.
Well, I kind of want to see qualifying first because, you got to really see where everybody lies before you can really make a call. But I'd say early on, I would probably put, looking at the list, probably probably the other Envision driver, Superfast GT. They were a very speedy driver last season in D3 West. And they are, of course, the teammate of Mark. So I'm wondering if the two Envision drivers might pose a challenge for each other. And now we see Mark Anthony getting to the line to begin his first flying lap. There's a huge line of drivers behind. So we'll have to see if anybody looks like they're doing good. So you see Mark Anthony coming in the first corner. Really well done. Yeah, that was a brilliant. Yeah, this first sector is pretty good so far. Goes a little wide at turn 6, but not too bad. And then he sets up very well through turn 7. Oh man, that is a very clean line right there. And he's coming into turn 8 and turn 9 before he get into the very, very slow turn 10. And once again, brilliantly executed. He has the fastest first sector, and doesn't look like anybody else is going to be challenging it, at least not yet. As now he comes in through turn 11 and turn 12 to to finish off sector 2. Is he going to set a fastest sector 2? He does for now. Will he hold it though? Will somebody else take it from him?
I would hope he says it.
Yeah.
And being the first driver out there normally means you're setting purple sectors unless
Normally,
something's gone
yes.
horribly wrong.
Yes, typically that is the case. So now here he is. He's on the final straight. He had a very good exit of turn 17, and he's coming up to the line. And when he crosses it, he will of course be P1. But what will the time be? Wow, a 1:34.528. That is a very good time. I'd be surprised if anybody's able to surpass that as we see the drivers crossing the line now. 16
Yeah.
Rise, Tony M, Young still have yet to cross that line.
Going wide there at turn 14 and 15 exits,
Yes.
but
And now coming into turn 16 and 17, will he be able to set a decent lap time? He gets a fairly good exit. But how much will going wide punish his lap time? As he now comes up to the line, and he crosses the line to go 8th.
that was an amazing lap there by Mark Anthony, though. He's a full 7/10 up above anyone else.
Yes.
Now, the pole lap for the European race was a 1:34.4, so he's not that far off. I don't know if anyone else really has the pace to beat him, because as we can see, he's so far ahead of everyone else.
Yeah. Absolutely insane speed. So we'll
Yes.
see where he ends up. But I'd say pole and a win could be on the table for Mark Anthony. I don't think he's even going back out on track. I think he's just chilling. I think he knows he has pole.
Yeah, I don't think he really has to do anything else, at least until that like 3 minute mark, so he can go back out for a second lap.
Yep. And you can see a bunch of other drivers are now starting there. We have a couple other drivers starting flyers and whatnot. And a whole bunch of drivers rounding the final corners to begin their flying laps. As you see, Krivelic, known last season as Wheels, crossed the line to start his flying lap. He must have made a mistake during his previous one with the full 3 seconds off of Marks.
Yeah, he was complaining before the race about being off the pace and the car just not feeling right. But well, we can hope that he gets a little bit closer to the pace.
Yes, we can indeed. He was Wheels, or Krivelic, or Kai, whatever you'd call him, was one of the contenders for the D3 West title last season. If he hadn't unfortunately had to miss the last race, there's a good chance he would have been able to take it from Milo, who is also in this division. So we could possibly see a revival of their rivalry this season. And we can now see that it looks like somebody set a purple first sector and then had to abandon their lap, unfortunately. That's really disappointing for them.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah.
You know, you're going so fast, you're feeling so great,
And
and then all
also,
of a sudden it's just one corner.
Koeksai managed to get into P2. So that's really nice for them. Looks like 16 rise just went up to P6. And it looks like Kai is now rounding turn 17, gets a fairly good exit. He's going to be coming up to the line, and Superfast GT is just behind him. But where will Kai be able to plant his Min GP car? And he crosses the line and goes 7th. Superfast GT is also coming. Is he going to improve? No, he does not. We have a couple other drivers crossing the line here. That's Enzo. Yeah, Enzo now starting his first flying lap. We'll have to see how Enzo does.
Yeah. He must have joined late, I guess.
Joined late or had some issues in the first sector as we see him corner cut. I believe that was turn 6 there.
Quite possibly. Sebastian Cateau, he's now in second place.
Is Sebastian Cateau gonna upset Mark Anthony's pole position? Does he have a chance to? We'll have to see. Milo has gone up to 3rd as well. So the qualifying times are slowly creeping closer to Mark Anthony's time, but we'll have to see whether or not he's able to catch back up. And now we see Enzo going around. I forget which turn number that is. 12, then 13, then I don't know what corner number we're at
That's
anymore.
14 and 15, and he does a very good job of not going wide on 14 or 15.
Yeah.
Very nice turn 16 edge of that curve for the entrance.
Yes. And now he's coming. Enzo's coming up to the line. We'll have to see where he manages to place his Brian's Saigon 4 green. And he goes to the rear of the field 2.5 seconds down.
Yeah, but he's got another lap to
He does have another
connect
lap
it back
going.
up.
And we see a bunch of other drivers that look like they're about to begin their flying lap. Led by, which car is that? 16 Rise, who are they're all now starting laps, so we'll have to see how they do. Got 16 Rise, got Superfast GT, Kvelic / Wheels, a whole bunch of drivers setting up for their lap. Also Patrick, who finally showed up and is in the wrong livery. He accidentally used the default livery. Patrick is it looks like he'll be fine though as long as he changes his livery before the race starts. Patrick is a Min GP car. Looks like he is showing up just a little bit late. But he's in time for quali, so it isn't too bad.
If only just, but that's all you need sometimes.
That's all you need. And so now qualifying is almost over, so all these drivers will be finishing their current laps, and Patrick goes a little wide there. Anybody else? Superfast GT with 2 green sectors. Is he about to possibly upset his teammates' pole position? I
It's
doubt
quite
it.
possible.
I doubt it, but it is in fact possible.
He
As
has to
now
set a
he's
monster
coming up
sector
to
3.
the line, and we'll have to see how he does as he comes to the line, and he's about to cross it, and he goes third. A good improvement. And we see Kvelic jump up to 8th. Where will Patrick find himself at? 14th, only just above Young. Young was another title contender in D3 West last season, so it's really interesting to see him all the way down the order.
Well, to be fair, they were only D3 title contenders, and while I don't want to say that D3 is bad, that's not a D1 contender.
Superfast GT and Milo were both D3 contenders, and they're 3rd and 4th in qualies. And Young showed himself to be just as fast as Milo last season, so really what's going on with Young is a good question here, as now we see Milo with also 2 green sectors coming to the line. What time will he set as to finish off qualifying as he comes up to the line and crosses it, and he goes to 2nd. He's on the front row right alongside Mark Anthony, as now we watch, who is this? Sebastian Coteau, as he runs straight into the wall and doesn't get to finish his lap.
That looked like a purposeful crash, though, to be honest.
It did.
Still, it was amazing to watch.
So now we see all these drivers setting up, getting ready for the race, which will be beginning here in just a few minutes, or a few seconds, really. We have about 30 seconds till the race begins. All these drivers joining and getting ready. And as you can see, it looks like most people are starting on the hards and mediums. So we will have to see how that turns out. There's not as many people starting on the hards as we expected. Last race, every single person started on hard tires, but it looks like we actually got a number of medium drivers.
It's quite possible, though, that they might switch to hards later, because I know we saw that from like the 3 people that were going to start on mediums.
And now we have, and now the race is going to be starting very soon. And it's 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And anytime now, lights out, and away we go for the first race of the American Cup in Season 6.
Link, do you want to take it from here?
Is he back?
I don't know.
No, he's not. Well, anyways, so now we see Mark getting into the lead right away. No surprises there. We see Sebastian Coteau, Superfast GT, and Milo all challenging. As we see Sebastian Coteau stream into the lead ahead of Mark. Superfast GT and Milo right behind, just as close. As looks like Sebastian Coteau falls back, but gets a little bit of a better exit, and Mark Anthony back into the lead of Superfast GT right behind him, and we see a bunch of different lines entering into the snail, and then Sebastian Coteau goes a little bit wide on exit. Mark Anthony leads with Superfast GT, Milo and Sebastian Coteau right behind. Behind them we have Meaddington, Kvelic / Aqueals, Mr. Macho Globe, who just got overtaken by Enzo. Ah, man, this is so crazy. Enzo with a purple first sector. We'll have to see how it all goes. And so Mark still leads from Superfast GT, from Milo, from Sebastian Coteau. We'll have to see who manages to keep the lead, who manages to hold the lead on and not commit mistakes, because mistakes are going to happen at this track. It's such a difficult track, as we talked about before the race started. There's so many corners that are easy to just slight mistakes that can ruin your race. And we see Sebastian Coteau must have made one of those slight mistakes as he's fallen back a bit, as Enzo Boy sets the fastest lap of the race so far.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Enzo got a great start off the line, and now he's already made up himself the 5th. And if you see in the back, there's cars going wide, left, right, and center. But at the top 4 have pretty much started to take pull away here from 5th and below. And it seems like Mark is starting to pull a tiny bit of a gap, but he's still in that slipstream range with Enzo's teammate right behind him fighting it. And it looks like Enzo's going to pass him again. And it depends, though. It's going to this if he can hold it. It looks like no, he does. No, he's still holding, and he does. And right at the back, I Am Bob is battling with Mr. Globe into the backfield.
Yes, very tight racing here. Very tight racing. There's drivers. There's a lot of drivers fighting against each other. Like we'll really have to see who can come out on top because this is very close. Mannington now sets the purple first sector, taking it from his teammate who set the purple first sector the lap before. Will Mannington be able to set a new fastest lap and beat out his teammate? You know, like we'll have to find out.
Seems like they started to pull a gap. It seems like everyone's in the slipstream range here.
Yes. I think the one exception is Patrick, who corner cutted early, I believe, and fell behind. So we'll have to see if Patrick is able to catch back up through the race, or if he's going to be stuck down there for the rest of it.
Well, he's one of the only guys on mediums right now, so he definitely has a chance to catch up.
Takes the lead, and Sebastian Coteau takes the lead and sets the fastest lap. But will he be able to hold on? No. Superfast GT now takes the lead. And holds it for just a little bit, and it looks like Sebastian Coteau might take it back. Not sure, as now Mark Anthony streams forward, but he does not take it. Sebastian Coteau drops to 4th. Milo still hanging in that squad. The Farron driver doing very good so far. Superfast GT still leads from his teammate Mark Anthony. Behind in the battle for 5th, we still have Enzo and Mannington. Still trying to battle it out. Teammates fighting very hard as Mark Anthony takes the lead from Superfast GT, but will he be able to hold on to it as they head towards turn 11? A difficult corner. It's very easy to go wide here as we see Mark go just a little bit wide, but not enough to incur a corner cut penalty.
Yeah, the top 3 starting to pull away now, and it seems like Sebastian is starting to fall a bit behind. But sector 3 is usually where everyone starts to come back up to each other and get grouped up again. But in sector 1 and 2, the top 3 kind of start pulling away. But
Yes.
right now, Sebastian's still in that slipstream range with Enzo Boy in the back. Heading into the final corner and heading back into the main straight now. They're all spread out now a bit. And as we see, that Mark Anthony still leads with his teammate Superfast GT in 2nd and Mile in 3rd, and Sebastian in 4th and Enzo 5th.
And Sev has that slipstream, and it's given him a ton of speed as he now catches right back up to the back of those 3 cars and even starts overtaking them. And they go into turn 1. Sebastian Coteau overtakes Milo and Superfast GT and is now in 2nd as we see Enzo Boy starting to catch up a bit as Mannington falls back a little bit more. And oh man, this is such close racing up here at the front. And Enzo Boy just keeps on creeping closer and closer. Will he join this battle? As we see Superfast GT mount an attack on Mark Anthony. Will he be able to take the lead as Sebastian Coteau and Milo go a little bit wide? And they go into the snail. And it looks like Mark Anthony stays in the lead for now, but Superfast GT gets a great exit. Sebastian Coteau goes wide. We'll have to see who's able to hold on here.
Yeah, and now they're starting to spread out, but they're not too close to each other now. Mark Anthony is starting to kind of pull away, but again, still in that slipstream with at least the top 3. I won't even say the top 3, excuse me. The top 7 at least are still in slipstream range with each other. And then it starts to fall off a bit from 8th all the way down to 13th. But yeah, Superfast GT and Mark Anthony are working about it. Sebastian goes wide a bit.
He goes wide again.
He goes extremely wide.
And Milo also falling behind. So it looks like it's a solid 1-2 for Envision Racing right now, as Mark Anthony and Superfast GT are still in that battle for the lead. But it looks like Sebastian Coteau is still within slipstream. So as they come down the front straight, he'll be gaining a ton of speed. Will they catch up? As we see Milo and Enzo Boy both catching up as well.
Yeah, as you see, but like, Sebastian is still in the slipstream, so the race isn't over for him yet. And Enzo Boy is looking to make a move too with Milo in the back, but now he's fallen off a bit. Now Milo's looking to overtake Sebastian, into this upcoming quarter here, and it looks like he's done it. He has passed him
Yes.
for third place.
Yes.
No,
That's an unconventional place to overtake over at turns, what is that, 5 and 6. Very difficult corners. It can be hard to try to find a way to overtake there. So very good job from Milo, who now loses out again just before through turn 7, and as they head into turn 8, he tries to mount another attack, and then through turn 10, through the snail, Milo goes a little bit wide, but doesn't quite get that corner cut, and he streams ahead of Sebastian Coteau again, as they are both continually trying to catch up to the two Envision drivers of Superfast GT and Mark Anthony.
looking in the back here, we got Enzo, Mr. Globe, and Enzo's teammate Mayenton into the back. They're fighting. It's a three-way battle for fifth. And Enzo doesn't get wide, so this will give Mr. Globe and Enzo's teammate a chance here for fifth place, heading into the fast corners section of the track. Enzo still has that lead in fifth right now. And yeah, Milo's got ahead. Milo's ahead of Sebastian.
Wow. What tight racing here. This is even tighter than the European Cup was. Because in the European Cup, like, we had some tight battles for second and for especially for third later in the race. But this kind of battle is going all the way down the line. I mean, there are battles all the way like in seventh. They're battling hard for seventh. And then there's also a three-way battle between Tony M21, Yoto, and Aquil / Kvelik, as they are trying to fight over, what is that, 8th place. And then further back, you can see Kwek and Jung both fighting very hard over that last points position of 12th. So we'll have to see which of them comes out on top. And even further down the line, we see Patrick and 16 Rise fighting over 14th position. Patrick on medium tires, 16 Rise on some hard tires. We'll have to see how they manage to do that. Now, we have two medium starters this race. In Europe, everybody started in the European Cup, everybody started on the hard tires, but Yoto and Patrick have both started on the mediums. So that looks like some alternate strategies going on. It'll be interesting to see how those play out. Going back up to the front, it looks like things have mostly sorted themselves out now. There's still a battle between the two 4 green drivers and the United Empire driver Macho. So we'll have to coming up to the line to begin lap 7, all of them. Macho is in the lead just in front of Enzo and Mannington, but Enzo and Mannington are slowly catching up as they go into through turn 1 into turn 2 now. Macho gets does the corner better than Enzo or Mannington, as now they're going through turns 3 and 4 and into 5, and they're just behind Sebastian Coteau, as Enzo goes very wide through turn 5, and that ruins his turn 6 as well. That relieves the pressure from Mr. Macho Globe.
Yeah, the thing, it looks like Milo is pressuring Super Fast GT here for second place, and it looks like Mark has started to pull away with a 1.7-second gap lead. And in the back, Mr. Mancho and Mayenton are battling to catch up to the top two here. And then Enzo has started to fall a bit behind, but not out of it yet in that slipstream, as we said. And in the back, we have Yoto and Tony, the two teammates battling with I Am Bob and I can't see his name. Kajaji, I hope I'm not butchering it, but yeah, they're still battling for the top 8 right now, so it should be a good battle in the back. But we move our way, pay attention, back up to the top of the field, and it's still spread out. But as we said, Mark has started to pull a 2-second lead.
Yes, it's looking like it's going to be a very, it looks like it might be a bit of a walk in the park for Mark this race. We were thinking maybe that Superfast GT would be able to challenge him, but Mark just keeps on pulling out that lead. So we'll have to see if anybody's going to be able to catch up and possibly post challenge, especially with the alternate strategies. Is it possible for Yoto or Patrick with their alternate strategies to come with a late advantage? We'll have to see. We'll have to find out, especially since they will be pitting far earlier. They'll be able to do extreme undercuts on the other drivers. Looking back to 8th again, we can see Kvelik, Tony, and Yoto all fighting They're very close as Tony corner cuts at turn 6 and falls behind. Now heading into turn 7. Kvelik is right behind Yoto, and he's charging forward and into the snail. Is Kvelik going to be able to possibly make an overtake? It looks like it. He gets a better entry, but who will get the better exit? It looks like Yoto gets on the gas earlier and gets the better exit from the snail. And Tony is still trying to catch back up after his corner cut. Looking back up at the front, it looks like Superfast GT is under pressure from Sebastian Coteau, who has gotten around Milo. And it's a very tight battle, of course. There's still Macho, Mianti, and Enzo Boy, who are fighting even further back. And Sebastian Coteau is getting closer and closer to the rear end of Superfast GT's car. We'll have to see. Is he going to be able to complete the overtake as they go into turn 16 and through 17?
Yeah, I mean,
And down the straight. Wow. Great racing.
Yeah, it seems like they're like Milo, and Sebastian and Superfast B. They started to catch him up now, and as soon as Superfast G lost that slipstream to his teammate, he is starting to fall him back. And now look at this. He could get double overtake here into this corner. He just holds it, but it looks like Sebastian. Oh, he's got it. Sebastian has taken second place, but Superfast G is starting to come back at him. And now Milo is looking to overtake on Superfast GT. And he's pulling away, and Sebastian has now got second place.
Yes, and Superfast GT went a little wide at turn 6 there, and now they're going through turn 7. Milo following right behind. Looks like he might be trying to get a bit of slipstream from Sebastian Coteau up ahead. As we see, Superfast GT goes super wide into on the entrance to the snail. But he gets a good exit and is able to stay in front of Milo. It's a super difficult corner with a bunch of different possible lines, and he now stays ahead of Milo for now, but will he be able to hold on to it?
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Patrick Yeet has stopped at the exit of pit lane.
No!
And he has just stopped,
and
he
he's
is
disconnected.
out of the race. It seems like it was a turbo failure. So disappointing race for Patrick. And we'll see him in the next race. And sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. Unfortunate for Patrick. I believe he suffered from a glitch where for some reason he was on the soft tires instead of the mediums, which he was trying to start on.
Interesting.
So that could be it. Mark Anthony is still just streaming ahead of the other drivers. Like, you can look behind him. There's nobody there. At least not for a while, as we see Superfast GT under pressure from Milo and Sebastian Coteau as they go into turn 1, and looks like Sebastian Coteau gets past Superfast GT, but then as they brake for turn 1, Superfast GT brakes a little bit later, but he has to brake for longer as a result. And now they're going into turn 5 now, and Sebastian Coteau gets a really good exit from turn 5 and turn 6. Milo just behind the two of them now. As you see, Superfast GT take a wide entrance as compared to Milo and Sebastian Coteau keeping right to the inside curb. And we see Milo gains a little bit of time at Superfast GT through there as they go into the snail once again. Sebastian Coteau and brakes a little bit earlier, but who will get the best exit? And it looks like Superfast GT once again just gets a little bit of a better exit than Milo and manages to stay ahead of the Farron driver for now.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And the top 4, I guess we could say them, are kind of under a blanket right now. Other than Mark. Mark has just decided to say, you know what? You guys have your battle. I'm just gonna walk away with this.
Yeah, Mark's just
Now,
Mr. Speedy McSpeedface.
But we also have to pay attention that the top from 5th to 7th, they're kind of slowly catching back up again. But it seems like the top from 4th to 2nd, Sebastian Superfast and Milo. And oh, Superfast made a mistake.
Oh, he makes he corner cuts on the exit, I believe, or was it on the entrance? Sebastian Coteau fakes it into the pit. Sebastian Coteau fakes a pit. Possibly trying to confuse people, nearly runs into the pit wall, but just about misses it. But now he's under pressure from Milo as he lost speed doing that, faking the pits. But Milo makes a mistake going to turn 2, loses a bit of time to Superfast GT behind, who now streams ahead of both him and Sebastian Coteau. But then Sebastian Coteau once again gets a grid exit through turn 5 and streams ahead of both Superfast GT and Milo, as we see that the order goes right back to where it was a lap ago.
Yeah, you bet. And yeah, and like look at that, like yeah, as you said, Sebastian lost time doing that. It wasn't the smartest idea, but yeah, it did trick me. I did think he was going to pit. I probably would have went into the
And
pits and then
Superfast GT gets
realized.
a great exit from the snail and takes second place from Sebastian Coteau. And now they're heading into turn 11 now, another difficult corner. Will anybody go wide? They're pushing so hard right now. None of them go wide. They stay just within the track limits there. They're pushing so hard. You know, it's
Yeah, they are. I mean, look how much like they definitely are pushing. Like as soon as like from Kai, who's now made his way back up. Kai was 11th and he's now up to 8th, so he's definitely been making some moves. But yeah, from Kai, it's just kind of a 4-5 second gap, and then from 7th to about seconds, they're all
oh,
under about
did
2 seconds.
Yoto pit? Yoto has pit. I forget. We must have missed it, but Yoto did go into the pits and switch to the hard tires. So they are going to be on this hard compound for the rest of the race. So is their gamble of starting on the mediums going to work out for them? We'll have to find out.
You bet. I mean, we don't know how far the gap
Going
is
back to
for
the front,
Yoto.
we have Milo's and Superfresh GT and Sebastian Coteau all right with each other again, going through turn 3 and 4 now. We'll have to see who manages to come out on top.
Tony M disconnected.
Oh, Tony has disconnected. That's a DNF for Yoto's teammate. I forget what team. For XL Point. A DNF for the XL Point driver. Super disappointing for the team. As now we see Superfast GT is holding on to second place for now, but Milo is pushing super hard, trying to get past him, and Superfast GT takes a wider entrance into the snail. But Milo gets a slightly better exit. Will he be able to edge out Superfast GT as they head to turn 11? And he does. Milo manages to take second place, but goes a little bit wide, and that'll probably hand it right back to Superfast GT, and it does. As now they head through turn 12, super hard corner. It's really hard to figure out when to get on the gas there sometimes, the wide hairpin. Now heading into 14 and 15, Superfast GT corner cuts on the apex of turn 14 and loses position to both Milo and Sebastian Coteau, but is fighting it back as we see him chasing Milo down and is also and they are both just behind Sebastian Coteau as they are racing very hard. And now Superfast GT is just right with, they're all right there together. Superfast GT just ahead of Milo and Sebastian Coteau as they break for turn 2. Going through there, Milo falls behind Sebastian Coteau. And Superfast GT streams ahead a bit more as Milo once again goes really aggressive into turn 5 and 6 there, but doesn't get the same kind of exit Superfast GT as we see Superfast GT and Milo take wide entrances into turn 7, while Sebastian Coteau once again keeps that skinny entrance and looks like he loses time from it. As now we see Superfast GT go for the inside line as Milo goes for a wide line instead. Who will get the better exit? Milo corner cuts on the apex of turn 10 as Superfast GT keeps on staying in second place, but Sebastian Coteau looks like he might be gaining a little bit, possibly. We'll
Yeah,
have to find out.
yeah, he is. But I was going to take your attention. I know this was about a lap ago. Enzo did go a bit wide when battling with Mayenton, and that caused him a bit of time. But he still looked like he kept the position. But it's not over yet for the Mr. Maicho, Enzo, and Mayenton. They're still in this battle. Enzo goes wide again. That's the second time in a row he's done that.
Well, it must be tire wear getting to them. These tires are getting very worn at this point. As we talked about at the beginning of the race, these tires just really do not, they do not like being alive for that long, and so the tires die very quickly. But due to the high pit delta, as we see Mannington go into the pit lane, we'll have to see. Does he change the medium tires? And we also
Kovalik
see
and Young are
Kvelic
also
and
in.
Young. Mannington switches to the medium tires as we see Kai and Young also into the pits. What will they get? Kvelic overshoots his pit box just a wee bit as they both go to the medium tires. So which one of them will be able to be faster? It looks like they are going for the undercut this race. as compared to other drivers. And we also see 16 Rise in the pits, also changing to mediums, yes. And then, but let's go back to the front. Superfast GT and Milo are still fighting it out hard. The undercut was super powerful last race during the European, so we'll have to see if Mannington, Gavelic, Young, 16 Rise can make up a bunch of spaces by pitting early like they did. Or will they lose out at the end of the race due to having worn tires?
Yeah, you said about how the undercut is very powerful here. It is. Yoto pitted early, and he's now up into 9th. So the undercut is very, indeed, powerful here. And we'll have to see where Mannington, as you said, comes out. I mean, hopefully he does. I don't know what the pit delta is, so we'll have to see what happens when he comes out. He is on medium.
The pit delta is 23 seconds.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, I guess then it'll be close. He should be around, by looks of it.
Yep, Sebastian Coteau into the pits. Enzo Boy into the pits. We'll have to see. It looks like just a couple of early pitters has caused absolute chaos. Everybody's like, we got to go into the pits because the undercut's too powerful. So this could really make some really heavily worn tires at the end of the race. That could lead to a lot of mistakes from these drivers.
I was going to say a strategy I could maybe be seeing now. This from what we show in the pre-race about the strategy. A hard to soft. If you could really extend these to like lap 20 or 19. Maybe that's what Mark's doing. Maybe he's trying to get to lap 20 or 19 and
Maybe,
go on
you
the
never
soft.
really know.
You never really know but at the moment Yoto is catching Mark. So the longer Mark stays out, he's gonna slowly start gonna lose time. Now Yoto pitted a while ago, so we'll have to see. But Mannington is gonna be the one to watch.
Yeah, Smienton is definitely going to be someone to pit to keep an eye out because, as we can see, it's currently a 23.5-second gap. But will that drop as he slowly tries to chase Mr. Macho, who pitted at the same time? And you can see Enzo, who was the other driver who I believe pit around the same time. Yes, is now way. I believe actually no, Enzo pitted a lap earlier, and he gained a lot of time because of that. Like a few seconds just from pitting early. One lap early. So really, those top drivers, Superfast GT and Milo, if Milo into the pits, Superfast GT stays out for now. If Superfast GT is vulnerable to get undercut by both Sebastian Coteau and Milo now, and possibly even Enzo, who is also going very fast, as now we see Sebastian Coteau go onto the straight as Milo's in the pits. How much time will Milo lose? Sebastian Coteau goes past Milo.
It's gonna be close. Here comes Yoto. Is Yoto gonna pass Milo? It's gonna be
Milo
close. Here he comes.
Milo
Yes,
loses 2 positions in the pits, just 1 lap extra difference, or no, 2 laps extra difference, and he loses like 2 or 3 positions in the pits. If Superfast GT and Mark Anthony do not pit soon, then they could see themselves losing tons of time.
We've just got word on Tony's disconnection thing. It was a water pump issue. Very disappointing to see, and we will see him in the next race.
Yes, very disappointing. We'll see if any new fastest laps get set as everybody's onto the fresh tires once again, or if those hard tire laps will remain. It looks like Milo's already gotten past Yoto. Milo has much fresher tires than Yoto, who pitted very early to hards. So Yoto's going to be struggling for the rest of this race on much more worn tires than the rest of the field. But it could pay off. You never know.
I just want to point out, as it stands right now, if Mark Anthony will pit, and he will pit and come out behind Sebastian Coteau, who has already pitted.
And Mark Anthony goes into the pits, and so will he in fact lose that position to Sebastian Coteau?
So does his teammate Superfast GT also pitted? It's going to be close. Yoto is 27 seconds. If somehow the team of whatever Mark Anthony and Superfast GT team is called, let's hope they don't make a mistake. It looks like it's a good pit stop for both of them. Let's see where they come out.
And we see Sebastian Coteau coming past the straight, and he goes right past Mark Anthony.
There we
Mark
go.
Anthony loses the lead, and Superfast GT loses even more time as he comes out behind Macho Globe and just in front of Mannington.
Oh my goodness.
And Sebastian Coteau is now your race leader.
I just want to take a shout out real quick to Yoto. That the guy pitted so much early, and he's fifth. He is now fifth in this race.
What a
What a
great strategy
strategy!
call. What a great strategy call. But he is on the hard tires and they are more heavily worn. So is that medium hard actually going to be more powerful with the way with how powerful the undercut is, or will he continue to fall down the order as the race continues? We'll have to find out.
His only hope right now is that those mediums can start fading real quick.
Yep.
It is only 8 laps to go, or 9, I guess you could say, but
Yes.
it depends on how long he can hold on to that. But right now, Mark is on the back of Sebastian.
Yes, Sebastian Coetel has older tires than Mark does, and you can see that with how fast they're going. Mark Anthony is just going right past Sebastian Coetel. Sebastian Coetel stands no chance. Mark's pace is just too fast for Sebastian Coetel to have any chance. And but Sebastian Coetel might be able to use the slipstream from Mark to fight back, or at least hold on to second place, as we now see Enzo and Milo fighting very hard for the final podium position of third. And behind that even further, we see Yoto, Macho Globe, and Superfast GT also fighting super hard for that fifth place position. And further behind, we see Mannington, just all on his own in eighth. And then we see Young and Kavelik, both fighting super hard for ninth. Young making his way up after fighting for the last points position. He's made his way up 3 spots after being 13th at one point in this race. And then behind that we see Kurokasai, I Am Bob, and 16 Rise makes up the rear of the field. 13 drivers left, and Mark sets a purple first sector as he goes into the snail ahead of Sebastian Coetel. Is he about to set a new fastest lap for the race and bring himself maximum points, assuming he finishes in lead?
Be a great day for him.
It would
He has
be.
been on it now. Hopefully the day can be better if Superfast G can make his way up the field. As you said, that pit stop and the overcut did not work, and the undercut was superior, and he has lost tons of positions. But he is starting to catch Milo and Enzo. But will he have enough time to catch Sebastian? That is probably on his mind right now, if he can catch that in time. But Yoto is, and Mr. Maichu did get past Yoto, but Yoto finishing in the top 10 or even in the top 8 would be a great result for him today.
As now we see Mark Anthony with another purple sector. Is he going to set the fastest lap as he crosses the line? Yes, with a 1:35.245. That's a great lap for medium tires, especially without any slipstream. And now we see Sebastian Coetel is still right behind him, but he's slowly losing time. His much higher worn mediums are just making him are just causing him issues as he tries to at least hold on behind Mark Anthony and keep that vital slipstream. Further behind, we can still see the battle as Superfast GT has now caught up to Milo and Enzo Boy.
So something to keep in mind, Mr. Michio, apologies, but he's starting to catch up to third. He's starting to get into the battle with Milo and Superfast GT.
Yes. Did Enzo pit too early and is now suffering from tire wear issues?
He's got 7 laps to hang out. He's got time. He's currently leading in third right now.
Yes, we'll have to see how it ends.
Oh, Enzo goes wide! You called it! He does go a bit wide.
Yes.
And now Superfast GT is on the rear bumper of his car.
And Enzo goes wide again. And then, is he going wide again? He goes a little wide, but just to the curb. And then, entering turn 16 and 17, is he going to go wide again? He goes a little wide there, but he gets a better exit to Superfast GT anyways. And is now past Superfast GT, I believe, going onto the straight. Yes, and so retakes that final podium position. As if we go back up to the front, Sebastian Coetel has caught up a little bit more to Mark Anthony, but it looks like he's probably going to fall behind again. Yes, and Superfast GT retakes the position from Enzo Boy and Milo. And of course, Mr. Macho Globe is still catching up with the 3 of those drivers. Milo now takes that final podium position. But Superfast GT is fighting it back and gets a better exit from turn 6 and takes third once again.
Yeah, it's a great battle at the front here. I mean, just stunning drive from all these drivers today. I do want us to keep a little bit of an eye on, if we can, on Yoto. Now, he's still in 7th right now. Myington is starting to slowly catch to him, but he is running out of laps, and oh! Enzo must have made a huge mistake!
Oh, Enzo falls down the order and loses so much time through the snail. Must have made a corner cut somewhere.
I'd love if we could get a replay maybe after the race here on what happened to Enzo. That is crucial, what just happened. And now he has to make his way all the way up. Now, again, as he said, tire wear is a big factor at this track. And Mr. Minchi, as Maicho, has slowly made his way up to 4th and 3rd. And he's been a very quiet, sneaky guy. Enzo goes wide in the background.
And
And
Macho
now,
is now caught up to the back of Milo, and it looks like he's probably he might be attempt an overtake, as I think he'll have slipstream down the back straight. He gets a better exit than Milo, and is now right on the rear of the Farron driver, as they're both trying to get slipstream from Superfast GT up ahead. Can Mr. Macho Globe manage to get past Milo through turn 1 and turn 2? As now they brake for turn 2. Milo inches just ahead just a bit, and Mr. Macho Globe goes wide, and he loses time. As now they're going through turns 3 and 4 and into turn 5. Milo going very aggressive into it once again, but will Mr. Macho Globe manage to get a better exit? No, not enough to make a difference, at least. As now he takes a slightly wider entry than Milo. Will he be able to catch up to Milo once again and possibly make a challenge for 4th place as they go into the snail? They're all taking approximately the same line. And who will get the best exit? It looks like Milo is going to get a better exit than Mr. Macho Globe. And so for now, Milo will keep 4th position.
yeah, look, it's a 1-3 right now for Mark and Superfast C teams right now. That's still a great result, even if it's not a 1-2. But no, yeah, Minchi is starting to close up on. Well, he was. Now he's starting to fade back just a little bit.
It's
But
possible he pushed too hard, destroyed his tires a bit, and now he's trying to... Oh, he goes
yeah,
a little wide. But so does
yeah,
Milo. He's caught back up to Milo and Superfast GT, who I think both made mistakes through there. And now we got an even closer battle coming onto the straight, as you see Milo just behind Superfast GT, catching up slowly. Mr. Macho Glove with the slipstream from Superfast GT and Milo, catching up and going past the two of them, as now he darts out to the outside and then back to the inside, trying to make sure he breaks slipstream. It doesn't give them any chance whatsoever, as now they go into turn 2, braking. Superfast GT looks like he's going to take the lead. Is he going to go wide? No. Slightly different entry lines. Mr. Macho Club now takes 3rd place. Superfast GT takes it again. Milo goes super aggressive into the corner again, and then gets a bad exit from turn 6. Superfast GT now takes 3rd through turn 7, with Macho and Milo fighting over 4th still. And then into the snail, Milo goes super aggressive again. Macho breaks just a little bit longer, but Superfast GT gets a great exit. So does Milo. All 3 of them really get great exits from the snail.
I'm really interested to see the gap when they cross the finish line at the end of this race.
Yes.
If they stick like this.
Yes, if these 3 drivers stay like this, like they will cross the line with thousands separating them. We now see Superfast GT just ahead of Milo, but it looks like Milo's fighting it back as they enter turn 14 and then go through turn 15. Macho goes just a little bit wide, and he goes wide again on the next exit. As now they're entering turns 16 and 17, some of the most important corners on the circuit. Do any of them go wide? It looks like Macho Globe might have gone a little wide. And now Milo and Macho both have slipstream from Superfast GT, and they're streaming ahead. They're catching up. Are they going to be able to complete that overtake? Because now we see Milo take 3rd position and just in front of Superfast GT and through the corners. Who will take the lead? It looks like Superfast GT gets a better exit from turn 2. Who will be able to be faster through turns 3 and 4? It looks like Macho catches up a little bit more. Once again, Milo being super aggressive as Macho makes a minor corner cut through turn 5. And that removes him from being able to challenge for 3rd for now, as him and Milo now have to work together to catch back up to Superfast GT, who managed to make it through there without any major mistakes. As they enter the snail again, They're still a little bit behind, but how far behind will they be and for how long? Another thing
Yeah,
I want to keep in mind is I believe Superfast GT is slowly catching up to Sebastian Coetel.
yeah, he is, but it won't be enough. Super Bastard will have to make a mistake, and he kind of does. Yeah, it was a commentator's curse. He does go a bit wide, but yeah, I don't think it'll be enough. He'll have to catch him 1.5 these last 2 laps, pretty
Yep.
much. But I don't
I
think it.
don't think he'll be able to catch Sebastian Coetel unless Sebastian Coetel's tires cause him to make a major mistake somewhere, which is of course completely possible. He has very worn tires that changes how the track is driven completely, especially with the way these tires wear. It's exponential instead of being a linear, and so the difference could really be night and day between heavily worn tires and less worn tires. So just between laps, it could be major differences. So we'll have to see if Sebastian Coetel makes any major mistakes. Cutting back to Milo, he's once again on the rear of Superfast GT, trying to push, trying to take this position. We'll have to see if he's able to. We've got 2 laps to go. We're on the penultimate lap. If we go further back, we can see Young and Kvelik are still fighting over 10th position. Kvelik hanging on for now. Yannington has fallen behind quite a bit and is now fighting with I'm going to butcher his name, Koeksai, over 8th. Yoto is off on his own in 7th, as is Enzo in 6th. And then back up to the front, Macho, Milo, and Superfast GT still fighting over 3rd position. And all of the drivers still slowly making ground on Sebastian Coetel, but not fast enough to be able to pass him.
I,
As at this point, they would have to gain 2.5 seconds on average. No, more like they'd have to gain 5 seconds in a lap and a half, which really isn't possible without major mistakes from Sebastian Coetel.
I am Bob Pitts. I'm wondering if he's gonna go for fastest lapping. I guess instead of 1:35.
Yes, he goes onto the soft tires, so I'd say that he's probably going for a fastest lap attempt. Will he be able to do it is the big question.
Depends. I mean, Mark has been just absolutely dominant all day today.
Yes,
Like
and then
4 5 second lead as we take it to the final lap of this
yes,
race here in Flevo. Mark Anthony sailing to lead. Now we will pay our attention back to actually, you know what? From second to fifth, it is pretty spread out.
yes, it looks
So
like Milo, Superfast GT, looks like they're all pretty well set. But if we go all the way down to 10th, there's still a decent fight between Kvelik and Jung that could
hey,
possibly lead something, especially if Yannington possibly makes another mistake up front, because it looks like he's because he keeps on falling further and further behind. He must be making a lot of mistakes. So it's possible that Kvelik could possibly catch up to him just this final lap if he makes another major error.
I don't want to say anything, but Mincho is I think being caught by Enzo a bit here. Now it is the final lap, and they're only about 1.3
Yeah,
seconds.
I don't think there's enough time, but Sebastian Coetel is losing is continuing to lose time. It looks like to the to
Yeah,
to Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony is your winner. But let's look at I am Bob, who's about to start their fastest lap attempt. So we'll see how that goes.
yeah. We're gonna watch I am Bob for this final lap, but Mark Anthony
But
pretty much.
we will keep an eye and dart away if we see any intense battles.
But yeah. Sorry, but yeah, but Mark Anthony dominant from start to finish. Mark Anthony will win the first race of the season in season 6 of FRL. What a result for him today.
Yes.
Sebastian.
What a result. Sebastian Coetel comes home into 2nd place, and then Superfast GT make a 1-3 for Envision, a great result. Then you got Milo, Macho, Enzo Boy, and then Yoto will be the next one to cross the line, followed by Kwekexai. I think I butchered that name. And then you see Young and Kvelik fighting across the line, but Kvelik will come out on top. If we're looking at I am Bob, who's still on their fastest lap attempt, they got a green first sector, not purple, so I don't think it'll be fast enough for fastest lap, but they will keep trying.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah. I am Bob is the last guy on the track, probably the most popular driver right now, being the last guy on the track, getting to enjoy the track pretty much to himself. We'll take you on board with this lap with I am Bob. Heading into the fast section. You're in sector 3 now. You have to be perfect with this. You have to get the braking right into this corner, and
Corner
it was a bit
cuts.
on corner cuts. That should be the lap over.
Yeah, that's the fastest lap attempt over, so
I am Bob. We'll get P13,
no
and that
points.
will be
And
the result.
that's the end of the race, so.
He's weaving on the straightaway.
Woo! He completed his first race. Iron Bob's a rookie, I think. Right?
Yeah, good job for him.
Yeah.
P13, great result.
Yes.
And what a
What a
it was a
race. That
pretty
was that was very exciting. What
it
a
was a
race
very
indeed.
Yeah, congrats to Mark on getting the Grand Slam.
Yes. Oh, not quite a grand slam. He didn't lead quite every lap, but he definitely got max points. That's very impressive for Mark Anthony. So,
you bet. Now, there's probably gonna be something, but on your guys' opinions, who is your driver of the day?
my driver of the day, I gotta give it to Sebastian Coetel. That was a very inventive strategy that gained him a lot of time. Like, and like I mean, don't get me wrong, he was doing good even without the strategy, but then pitting as early as he did, he gained so much time, and then he managed to hold it together on those super worn mediums. Like, don't get me wrong, Mark was extremely fast, but you gotta give props to Sebastian Coetel for being able to hold it together the way he did with those heavily worn tires.
And
Yeah,
who's yours?
um, I would give it to Enzo Boy. He started out in 11th after qualifying and got all the way up to P6, and I'm not sure if anyone really thought he might be able to get up that far. So I just want to say good job to him.
All right, and my driver of the day is gonna go to Yoto. Look where he started compared to where he finished. The guy was down in like 13th, I believe, and with strategy, he made his way up to like the top 5. Now, tires were
Yes,
pretty worn, and he dropped
that
back.
was also a good race by Yoto. A very it was a different strategy. Most drivers have been doing hard to mediums, but him doing medium hard. I wonder if that'll mean the next two races of Asia and Rookie Cups might mix up the strategy a bit. I guess we'll have to find out.
You
That
bet.
will.
Anyways, that's all for round one of the American Cup in season 6 of FRL. So thank you to everyone who watched. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, we'll see you next round.